Okay, so we're still doing substitution, but today we have either solved for y or we've solved for x. And the equation we plug it into is going to be a little bit different. So the first thing you need to do is figure out, okay, has one of these equations been solved for y, meaning is the y by itself, or has it been solved for x, meaning the x is by itself? So if we look at this first equation, so right here it says 2y, so I haven't solved for y. Now this says x, but the x isn't by itself because it has this 2y on the same side of the equation. So we haven't solved for anything in the first equation. But if we look at the second equation, it simply says x equals. This means we have solved for x. The x is all by itself, okay? So for this example, we've solved for x. So let me erase all this. So that means we're going to circle what x equals, and we're going to draw an arrow to the other x, okay? Because we know what x is. We don't know what y is this time. So we're going to rewrite this equation, but instead of x, we're going to put a 3y in its place. So we have 2y plus, instead of x, 3y equals negative 15. Now this is an equation we can solve because it's all y's. There's only one variable. So we combine our like terms. We get 5y equals negative 15. Isolate the variable by dividing. So we get y equals negative 3. Now that I know what y is, I can plug it into one of those original equations to figure out x. So if this is equation 1 and this is equation 2, equation 2 looks easier to me. So I'm going to use this equation, but instead of y, I'm going to plug in what y is in parentheses. Y is negative 3. So now I'm going to multiply. 3 times negative 3 is negative 9. So I think the answer is negative 9, negative 3. Next slide, we'll check it. So we think this is the answer. Remember, this is the x and this is the y. We're going to plug those numbers into these equations and see if we get the same thing on both sides. So x is negative 9 and y is negative 3. So the first equation checks out. Second equation. Y is negative 3. X is negative 9, so I'm going to put it in parentheses. And then we have a negative 15. So 2 times negative 3 is negative 6. Plus minus just means minus. I have two negative numbers, so I'm going to add them together. And I'm going to keep their sign, which is negative. So I get the same number on both sides. It checks out. This is, in fact, the answer. And we are done.